what would you like to say about artists, performers, members of the larger arts community on having the courage to just speak out like you do through your arts? Speaking out is a rarity that we find here as well, across all disciplines of the arts, not just the visual. So what would you like to tell people, members of the arts community, on how to have the courage simply to speak out?
We encourage other people to speak out. I said, how do you encourage people to eat when they're hungry? They eat. So you don't have to encourage people to sleep when they're tired. They go to sleep. So I don't encourage people to speak out if they're happy not to speak out.
I'm at international iconic artist, political activist Ai Weiwei's debut show in India, and I'm going to get you the highlights, so keep watching. This series of works by Ai Weiwei are hugely popular because they're interpretations by him of original artworks but made in pieces of Lego. So I'm walking across right now an interpretation of Jackson Pollock's work. What he's done specially for India, for his debut India show, is one of my favorite Indian artists' work, Gaitonde. This is an untitled work, and I remember when it went down the hammer, when it sold for an auction, it was record-breaking. The Gaitonde was one of the most expensive works at that point of time. And if you notice, if you've seen the original, you notice that he's made it to the original size as well. And to create Gaitonde's subtle textures of the deep red color that he's used, Ai Weiwei has managed to create that texture as well. And how he's done that? By using a lot of pink blocks, pink and green blocks in between to create that depth. And this is also an interpretation by Ai Weiwei, specially made for his debut India show, of S.H. Raza's work, which was titled Surya Namaskar. So in his Lego work, he's maintained the original size, the colors, the patterns. And it's a tribute to an Indian master. This is very stark work. There's a set of 4 military stretchers here, and these are from World War II. And then he sourced these buttons from a mass production factory and spelt the abusive word F-U-C-K. It's about a juxtaposition of mass consumption and something that war has taken form in today's world as well. It's something that happens on a mass scale. It's regular, and it's what you see much more often happening all around you. Now I'm going to do a slow, mysterious reveal to what this work is. It's made in Lego, of course, but it's of one of the most famous paintings in the world ever. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Do you know what it is? Closer to guessing? Yes, this is Mona Lisa. But let me explain what this is. This smear of white that you see here. So a couple of years back, climate activists were going across museums in Europe and smearing with cream and cake famous works of art to bring notice to what their activism is all about, pro-climate. So he captured, Ai Weiwei captured that moment in his toy blocks, Lego blocks work. And when he decided to make Mona Lisa, he decided to show that smudge of cream as well. Ai Weiwei, of course, is known for his very strong activism and political commentary all the time in most of the works that he does. What you're seeing here behind me is a 5,000-year-old Neolithic vase from China, and he's painted the Coca-Cola logo over it. It's a juxtaposition of an ancient historical utility item with today's pop culture and consumption. And what do you make of this juxtaposition? Why don't you write into me that on your comments below? This tall tower of 6 vases, with the style, of course, ancient Chinese vases in their traditional style and color. But this work is dated 2017, and each vase shows the crisis of a refugee life and war, the impact of war on families and people and countries. And it's time for another reveal. This is Lego blocks for India, and an interpretation of the Pichwai, the famous Pichwai's paintings on cloth that you have in India. And this is, of course, featuring Lord Krishna. And let's get you this one behind me. Large extended work, I think a bit bigger than the original painting, which is Water Lilies by Monet. This is, of course, the water lilies from his much later stage in life when he was losing his eyesight. And that's why you have such out of focus painting and depiction of the water lilies. But here's what Ai Weiwei has done in a reinterpretation and connecting it to his own life. You see that black hole, that portal. So this stage in Monet's life was very traumatic when he was losing his eyesight. And that there, black portal that you see, is a traumatic recollection of Ai Weiwei's own life when his father was exiled and he was living with his father in a very small place, and that brings back trauma to him as well. So he's added his own personal life and experience to Monet's Water Lilies. And even if you see this of the famous work by the Japanese master, the Great Giant Wave, there's an interpretation here as well. There's, of course, Mount Fuji there, but here's what he's added. The boat people. The boat people and all the political commentary behind that, what's been happening in the world of wars and migration and anti-immigration, and how people manage to rescue themselves from a war site and reach a new country and still face a lot of suffering in the new place as well.